they should leave me alone. Yes, it happens a lot with teenagers because sometimes we parents, we just don't understand you. But tonight we're going to be looking at everything that makes elements of your personality and how you should understand it. So let me start from the basics before I go into my slides. There are usually two types of major temperaments: introverts and extroverts. So before I go into the slides, introverts are people who are more withdrawn, they're into themselves, they don't like to talk much, they like to keep to themselves, they like to be more retrospect. Extroverts are the life of the party, they make friends easily, they like to connect, they like to have go out, they don't enter into a space and you don't know. So just type in the comments box. So if you are team extrovert, type team E, team E. And if you are team I, introvert, type team I. Quickly, fastest finger. Team I. Fortune is team I. Okay, let me see. Banker Alonga is team I. Let's keep it coming. Fastest finger. Banker Alonga is team I. Let's bring it up. I'm still waiting. Sam, team I. Wow. Adelis, are you sure you're a team I? Victor, team I. Josh, team E. Let me look for Josh's face. Maybe I can profile you. Josh, you're wearing glasses. Yes, I can see you. Let's see whether you're team E. Blossom, team E. Team E. Really? Team, are you sure? What is the in between? Well, sometimes there are variations of team I's that want to look like team E. So honestly, if you think you are in between, you're probably team I. Because if you are team E, you can never think you are in between. Does that make any sense? Natasha and Nicole, team I. If you are team E, you can never think you are a team I. It's impossible. Because you know you are loud. Hello, I'm a team E too. We're usually loud, we like to party, we like to make noise, we like to be known, we like notice me, we like, I'm in the room, hello, dog, what's wrong with you? That kind of thing, okay? So Elon, I probably think you are a team I that is evolving. Yeah, you're a team I that's evolving. iPhone says I'm team I. Let's type. There are a lot of us here that have refused to type. Type now. At least if you can't show me your face. Tumba Patience, put on your video. If you're just joining us, please put on your video. Let me see your face so that I can profile you myself. Some of you might think you're a certain thing, but just by looking at you as a psychologist, I can actually profile you by certain nonverbal cues that you are giving. So if you can put on your video, I would really appreciate it. So who else is typing? Nobody? Team I, team E. Okay, I think we've stopped typing. So let me share my slide for today because it's important you have a basic idea of where you fall before we continue. Can you all see my slides? If you can see my slides, please wave. Just wave on camera. Those on camera, please wave. Just wave. Awesome. Thank you. So today we'll be talking about the teenage struggle and personality types. Teenage struggle and personality types. Why do we struggle with our personality? For those of you that are just joining us, my name is Folake Agumbiade, and I am a teens mentor and teens coach. I do quite a number of things, but this is my ministry. This is what I do to give back to God. This is what I hold very close to my heart. So I'm here because I love to empower teenagers with life skills. So let's start from the very beginning, the teenage brain. This brain that teenagers have, when we say teenagers, I'm assuming they have some pre-teeners here. Am I right? You just not. We have some pre-teeners here, do we?
No, just
Just
12
full
going to
teenager.
13. Yeah, just full teens.
Okay, so awesome. So the teenage brain majorly actually starts from like 11 in the gradient in psychology. And it has a lot of functional dynamics that you need to understand that will guide you in, not getting frustrated with a lot of things, because sometimes we just get frustrated. We just feel people don't understand us. An average teenager likes to say, Auntie, you can't understand. I'm a teen's mentor, and I hear it so many times. I'm sure Auntie Etima hears it too so many times. People say
I
stuff
even
like,
heard it this
you don't.
evening. Just this evening. I just heard it.
Woo, thank you, dear Denise. I'm pleased to meet you too. I keep hearing it. You don't understand. You don't understand. If only you understood what I was going through. I think I was ever a teenager. And I laugh because really, you are the people who don't understand the configuration of a teenage brain. So let's go quickly into how a teenage brain is configured. Do you know that the brain is the last? Auntie Otima, how many minutes do I have, please? Before I continue.
45 minutes.
Okay, thank you. So I believe I've used like 10 minutes out of that already. So do you know that the brain is the last organ to fully develop? Are you aware? If you are aware, type in the chat room that your brain is the last organ. Your liver will develop, your kidney will develop, your tongue is an organ, your eyes are sense organs, right? Your skin is a sense organ. But did you know that the brain is the last organ to fully develop? Let me see who is typing in the chat room. Were you aware? Nah. Okay, Sam says no. That's right. Your teenage brain is still under a great deal of development. It's still developing. It's not a fully formed organ yet. In fact, the prefrontal and frontal cortex, for those of you who are biology students, will know what I'm talking about here, who are in senior secondary, will understand what the frontal cortex. Okay, maybe not so much. You will probably know more about the brain when you get to the university. And you have to do maybe physiological psychology, or the medical sciences. You will get to understand the brain and parts of the brain. Anyway, the frontal lobe and the prefrontal cortex are parts of the brain, which are responsible for decision making and judgment. Why do you make certain decisions? Why do you, form certain ideologies? Why do you form certain ideologies? So when that happens, and you are not aware that the parts of the brain, which are the prefrontal and frontal cortex, are responsible for decision making and judgment, they are not fully formed until you are in your mid to late 20s. So the average brain of a human being is not fully formed until they are in their late 20s. I'm talking 26, 27, 28. Which is why I sometimes try to advise teenagers that since your brain is not fully formed, listen to me or follow me. Don't judge me, don't shoot me, just follow me. By implication, when your brain is not fully formed yet, why would you be making a decision about who you should date or who you should marry? Because at that point in time, you do not have full capacity yet to make some certain decisions and judgments. Now, there are exceptions. Don't get me wrong. There are exceptions. Sometimes when we go through certain experiences, if all things are equal and you have not been forced to grow by certain experiences, which I pray you don't experience, which I hope and believe God that you will not experience. Some of these things are now fast forwarded because of nurture, because of environmental factors, because of outside factors. But averagely, the brain of a teenager is not fully formed until they are in their late 20s to 30s. Now, have you ever been confused by the way you behave sometimes? You yourself, you just be confused. You can type in the chat room. Or the different problems that plague you. Sometimes you don't even know what switches your mood. When they ask you, you say, I'm in the mood. You know, sometimes I ask my teenagers, I have a teenager. So I say, can you localize it? What's the problem? He say, nothing. Is there something? Nothing. But I can see that you have switched a mood. Sometimes you're not even aware that those things are happening. Sometimes you just feel angry unexplainably, or you just feel sad unexplainably, or you feel annoyed, irritated. It's not me, it's others that ask. Yes. You just feel angry, or you feel overwhelmed by certain decisions or stressors. Some things will just stress you. Your younger sister will just press your buttons and feel like slapping the shit out of her. Permit me for using that bad word. You feel like you're wozzing her, or you feel like just lashing out. Your mom is talking you, and you feel as if you can't control the amount of pressure that is on you. Now, there are different struggles that you go through in the teenage years. So I'm going to cover the science behind the teenage brain so that it will help you understand yourself better. Because when you understand yourself better, you can manage yourself better. Now, let's look at the science quickly. I'll try to break it down as much as possible so you don't get confused. There is a natural insulation called myelin that covers the connecting regions inside the brain. There is the left hemisphere and there is the right hemisphere. I'm sure if you don't know much about the brain, you know that the brain is broken into two sides, the left side and the right side. Now, there are certain natural insulation. Insulation is a cover that covers the connecting areas, the connecting junctions inside the brain. In order for one section of the brain to send quick signals to the other section of the brain, these connectors must be insulated. So there are sides and segments of the brain. There is a connector, and that connector must be wrapped. It must be insulated. When you insulate something, it needs to cover it up to protect it against other elements. So this insulation process starts at the back of the brain and completes its insulation at the front of the brain. Frontal lobe to the back of the brain. It's from the back to the frontal lobe. Now, this process does not complete until mid-20s or even later, as old as 30, which is the reason why teenagers struggle with impulse control. You find yourself, you're drinking Gary, you now decide that Gary, you just have a certain urge to eat Indomie with Gary. Have you had funny urges like that? Or you just look at something very risky, and in your mind, you're just like, I can do this and get away with this. Nobody will catch me. Let me just run and do it quickly. I promise you. And it will look like a very good idea. Or your parents or caregiver will say, do a certain task. Then you'll be like, no, let me leave it first. You don't understand. I need to play this game or this football right now. Or I need to chat this person on my phone first before I do it. So you can't resist that urge to stay on the phone when there is a task to be done. That's impulse control. That ability that stops you to reason the consequences of your actions. An average teenager is struggling with that. I don't know about you, but even in my own house, with my teenager, I know that an average teenager is struggling about with that. If you're struggling with it, just type yes. You know, you're not able to control yourself. Just type yes. Who is canceling my slides? Thank you for clearing it. Just type yes in the chat room. You know, sometimes you are struggling with empathy, feeling what other people are feeling. Feeling what other people are feeling. Sometimes you're struggling with decision making. Type in the chat room, say yes or no. Quickly, let's do that. This is an interactive session. I'm not just here to talk. Type in the chat room quickly. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Are you with me? Can you hear me? Nobody is responding. Chetima, can you hear me? Okay, Adeni says no. Okay, Fortune says no. Really interesting. David says yes. You're struggling with decision making. You don't know which decision to make. Tisan says yes. Let's have more people. Ayomide says clearly. Thank you. Let's have more people type yes or no. Are you struggling with either empathy, decision making, or risky behavior? Blossom says yes. Josh says yes. Denzel says yes. Natasha says yes. Patience says yes. Inyolua says yes. Victor says yes. So I see we have a lot more yeses than nos. A lot of these struggles are related. Elan says yes. Awesome. A lot of these struggles are related to the lack of insulation. That insulation over the connectors in the front of the brain, in the frontal cortex. So you find out that even when you want to do what is right, you just find yourself that you are struggling. Not because you're not a good person. I promise you, you're a good kid. You're a good kid. You're a good dude. You're a good girl. But these struggles are real. These struggles are real because of these connectors. So let's continue. Now, once you reach the age of 30, just about that, or a little before, or depending on the kind of stimuluses you are exposed to. You know, if you are exposed to the right kind of stimulus, a good kind of stimulus is this academic that you are. I promise you, your own brain will not develop until you're 30 because you are getting the right information to understand what is going on in your brain. Because when you understand, where there is knowledge, there is power. Where you understand what you are going through, you have the ability to harness it and be able to do better. Now, at the point of 30, the brain is fully insulated. So connectors take place at an incredibly quick speed. But teenagers have to deal with much slower signals in the frontal and prefrontal cortex. That's why a lot of times your caregivers, your parents, your supervisors, your mentors have to tell you the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, because the connectors are not moving that information fast enough for you to register it. So before you know what's happening, you have forgotten that it's coded you for something. It happens to a lot of teenagers. You forget. You know that kind of wants to smile, but isn't getting through to the smile. You're forgetting that they scolded you for something. And you're like, I don't remember. That's when I asked my son, I said, how many times have I told you this thing? He said, I think it's one. I said, no, it's 25. It's not one. It's that many times I've told you about the same thing. So the plus side is that even when these signals are slow and a struggle is there to make long-term decisions effectively, sometimes the decisions are the kind of friends you want to keep. Even when everybody else can see that some friends are not good for you, even you know they are not good for you. But making that decision to opt from them becomes difficult because of some of the struggles of the teenage brain. On the other side, the flip side, good news. Teenagers learn faster and their memories last longer than adults. So it's not. That's why I said the knowledge you get tonight will help you understand what are the issues and how to harness them. Now, the teenager in each Myers-Briggs personality type. The type of personality gradient we'll be looking at tonight is Myers-Briggs. He has a 16-type personality type that ranges from different variants of extroversion to different variants of introversion. That's why I asked earlier, are you an I, are you an E? So a lot of us have just joined. So quickly in the chat room again, I mentioned earlier, extroverts are people who like to be the life of the party, who like to be, they like to be heard, they like attention, they like to talk, they like to be fun. They're cool, in quotes, they seem to be the cool people, but they also have their weaknesses as well. While introverts are more quiet, they're more reserved, then the introverts are more thorough, they're more task-driven, they do a lot of things more peacefully, they don't like confrontation, they don't like drama. So quickly in the chat room, let's have everybody type E or I for those who are joining us, because we are going into the personality types. So I want you to be able to pick your first letter of the 16 types. You should get a piece of paper at this point so that you can really be able to follow me and pick your personality types out of the 16. E or I. Quickly, chat room, type E or I. Type E or I. Okay, I can see it coming in. No, E. Interesting. Banker, I. Athem, I. Tinsa, I. I've only seen one E. Let's keep it coming quickly. We don't have much time. Quickly. Josh is an E. So we have three I's and two E's. Ayomiko and Jordan. Banker, are you really an I? Even me, I'm laughing. E and I, no. Yeah, usually won't be dominant temperament. Samson says I. Okay. Noya says I. I. Okay. Let's bring it on. I'm still reading. Let's type quickly. We don't have much time. E. Some cities are together. Okay, that's why you see. Oh, E and I. Okay, so we have an E and an I. Okay. Fine. That's okay. We have 24 people in this chat room. I have only 10 answers so far. And in some families, you have 2 people on the camera. So I'm expecting more answers. Quickly. Don't make my job hard tonight, because I want to make sure everybody goes home with their temperaments tonight. I. I'm an E, by the way. I'm not sure Auntie Tima is an E. I'm trying to decide whether she's an E or I. No more answers. Okay. So let's continue. Auntie Tima, I know you're an E. I'm just pulling your legs. So these are the personality types. Sorry. Okay, I can see more people typing in. No, you can't be an I. You're an E already. You have to live with it. So I'm trying to shrink this so that we can see more. Just give me a minute. Let me exit sharing. Or let me share that document on its own. 1 minute. I'll be back. Okay, so that you can see the document very well. So these are the 16 personality types. We have 8 for I, and we have 8 for E. 8 for introverts and 8 for extroverts. Now, the letters that you can see in each personality type are represented by these variables. So if you're an E, you have extroversion. That means you're an extrovert. If you're an I, you have introversion. That's usually the first letter. So on your paper, you can write your I or your E. That's the first letter of your personality gradient. You can write your I or your E. Then I want to explain all the letters before I now go into the specific personalities themselves. So if you're an extrovert, you can be described as talkative, outgoing, you like to be in a fast-paced environment, you don't like any dulling, you are the one that will probably dance in church. I changed to an E, it's more like me. Better. Okay, now. Elan. Okay, I can see that. You like to be in a fast-paced environment. You tend to work out ideas with others and you like to think aloud. That's an E. You enjoy being the center of attention. That's also an E. On the other side, an I could be described as somebody who is private and reserved, prefers a slow pace with time for thinking, to reflect on things. And I also tends to think things through in their head. They want to think about something before they say it out. They don't just blurt it out. And he can look at you and say, why are you so fast? Why an I will want to say the same thing and say, it seems you have added weight. Because an E will say it how it comes to their brain, but an I will think about how it makes you feel. An I is also tend to observe, would rather not be the center of attention. So I think for teenagers, a crucial I is, do you like being in the center of attention or you don't? Then the next letter we'll be looking at is an S. How do you prefer to take in information? Maybe you're in school or you're in Sunday school or you're taking in information. I'll use school because we all go to school. So for people who are S, they focus on the reality of how things are. You know, as the teacher is saying it, they just focus on it. They don't bother questioning it. They don't bother thinking about it too much. And S will probably pay attention to concrete details and facts. Let me see who's typing. Okay, I see more people are beginning to decide whether they are an E or an I. Titan, you are moved to N. Just write your E first. You are either an E or an I. The other letters are now going to fall in after your E or I. So also under S, they prefer ideas that have practical application. You are the type of person that wants your teacher to work out a maths question for you to the last detail. You will not want to skip any step whatsoever. You will not want to skip any step whatsoever. And S would also like to describe things in specifics or literally. You know, a girl came into the class, she was wearing a pink top and some blue shoes. You are the one that will notice all the details. Whereas, I'm still coming to some other letters. Who will not notice except the fact that the person looks like a girl? They will not see it. So if you have that particular variant of noticing things around you, being aware, sensing information, connecting to things around you, you are most probably an S. So if you have that, you can put that beside your E or your I. Now on the flip side, if you're an N, this is how you perceive information. You will imagine the possibilities of how things could be. You know, as this COVID is happening now, or you are in school and your teacher says, this is the answer to the math question, you will be the one that will think about it. That, are you sure we cannot work it in this direction? What if we carry 1/2 instead of 2/1? Will we still get the same answer? You want to check out the possibilities. Your brain works in that kind of way. You want to check, okay, so mommy says, I can't go to church because COVID is real, but mommy is going to church. What if I went to church with mommy? What will happen? You want to check it out. You don't just take information like that and just, you know, then an N would also notice the big picture and see how everything connects. An N will also notice the big picture and see how everything connects. How do things connect? You know, this and this will go together. This and this will go together. This and this will go together. And N also enjoys ideas and concepts for their own sake. They like to describe things in a figurative and poetic way. Most N's are very poetic. They are the ones that do spoken word. They can rhyme. They can write poems. They are very connected to their other self. They like to flip things around. So that's EISN. The next letter we'll be looking at, Fortune says, my teachers hate me for that N feature. I know. You will always want to turn everything. Auntie, why will you say X plus Y is equals to XY? I don't understand. I want to call it YX. Why must it be XY? Because you will question it. It's part of your personality. So the next letter we'll be looking is, how do you prefer to make decisions? How do you prefer to make decisions? If you are a T, which is a thinker, you make decisions in an impersonal way and think it using logical reasoning. You know, you don't particularly are too emotional when making decisions. So you bring your food to school, for instance, and your friend is sitting beside you. And she says, please, can I have your food? I've not eaten since yesterday. You say, no, your mother sent you to school. My mother sent me to school. Why should I give you my food? I don't understand. I'm hungry, you're hungry. I will eat first. I can't give you. You will make decisions without being personal. You will think of it logically. You have a mother, I have a mother. Next time, tell your mother. Why did you buy biro? Why did you ask for biro? You will not be partial in your thinking. If you are a T as well, you value justice and fairness. What is justice? Just, Auntie, why did you beat him? Why did you beat me and you didn't beat him? The two of us were talking together. You will tell out your friend. You will call out everybody that was in that problem. That no, I will not go down alone. We all go down together. You like justice. If something breaks in the house and you know that it was 3 of you that broke it, and they ask you, you finally confess, you will bring out the remaining 3 people. It's not fair. All of us should go down together. You will bring them out. Also, if you're a thinker, you will find flaws in an argument. Why are you talking like this now? Some of these things are not real. Why will you say COVID is real? COVID is not real. I'm yet to see any teenager that is in the hospital with COVID. I'm yet to see I can see people typing T. So, if you have a T, you would also be described as reasonable and level-headed. On the flip side, if you're an F, you will base your decisions on personal values and how it affects others. So now you have a biro and somebody asks you for a biro. You're like, this person is my friend. Ah, she's my friend. Let me give her the biro. And you can use it. We'll be sharing it. When you write small notes, I'll write small notes. You'll be thinking of how it affects that person. And sometimes even at the detriment of your own good. You know what I'm talking about, bah? You'll be feeling the person's pain. How it affects other people. If you're an F, you would also like harmony. You don't like quarrel. You don't like people to fight you. You will go and beg those that you offend or who offend you. Fortune says I'm a mixture of F and T. Okay. Well, I usually say, if you think you're a mixture of F and T, you are actually a T. Does that make any sense? If you think you're a mixture of F and T, you are actually a T, but you think it's nicer to be an F. But guess what? Your personality is your personality. None of these variables are bad or wrong. None of them are bad. It's just who you are and how you think. It doesn't make you a bad person. If you think you're an F and T, you are most likely a T more than an F. Because if you're an F, you will never think you are a T. Honestly, if you are truly an F, you will never think you're a T. If you are truly an F, you will never think you're a T. Also, if you're an F, you like to please others and point out the best in people. You like to see the best in people. You are described as warm and empathetic. You are the peacemaker. You are the friend of everybody. You like to be around everybody. You like to participate on everybody. If you don't think you're a T, then you're probably an F. You like to take care of everybody. You don't want anybody to feel a certain way. Now, the last two variables. How do you prefer to live your outer life? If you prefer to have matters settled, let's settle it. I don't like to keep malice. Let's settle this matter now. I don't like to keep malice. You are a J. If you think rules and deadlines should be respected, if they say, don't put on the TV until you have done all your chores, and it doesn't cross your mind, you feel, oh, it's a rule. It's something that should not be broken. Despite the formation of a teenage mind and the struggles that a teenage mind goes through, you still believe that rules should be respected. You know, they say we should come to school by 8. I don't like to be 8. I don't like to be late. You like to abide by that 8 o'clock, not because they will punish you, but because you just like to do the right thing. If you also prefer to have detailed step-by-step instruction, you know, they want to send you to the market. You want your mom to write a note. You know, write it down, mommy. Don't just tell me. You take a notebook. You want to write step by step what people want. Fortune says, but Ma, I like to please everyone. I'm very soft. You're not very soft. You're just a feeling person. That doesn't mean you're very soft. You're who you are. You're special. That doesn't make you soft. You're probably an F if you like to please people. You like to think about people's considerations. So if you make plans wanting to know what you are getting into, you like information. Somebody like, I was teasing my son. Somebody said you should come and join, what's that thing? A WhatsApp chat room. And you know, he just asked who is there. And I was teasing him. I said, why would you ask who is there? The question will be, what is the chat room about? What's your business with who is there? And because he's an extrovert like me, for him, his business is who else is there. You don't understand? Let us go and connect. He's not interested in knowing what the purpose of the group is. Whether it's bad, it's not good, it's one kind. is the list of his information that he wants to know. So if you like to know what plans you are getting into, you are a judge. But on the other side, if you prefer to leave your options open, let's go now. When we get there, we will know how it is. They say, let's go for that party. Say, party, let's go now. When we get there, you will not ask, what kind of party? What time is it starting? When is it ending? What are we going to do there? You don't ask any questions. You are on one side. But this perceiving side, you are the one that does not ask any questions. You just, let's go, let's go, let's go. Then, if you are also perceiving, you see rules and deadline as flexible. Should they say, I shouldn't watch TV until I finish my chores? And they didn't say, I shouldn't play game until I finish my chores. You will flex it. You understand? You just reason it that, okay, it's not hard and fast. I can always jing it. I can get along with it. I can make it happen. What you say, I'm definitely a perceiver. I love you, darling. Be your P. That's who you are. A P also likes to improvise and make things up as you go. You have no plans. No plans whatsoever. No plans. You just, anyhow, you just jam it together. Anyhow, anywhere belly face, where would they go? You are not bothered. Okay, so this party now that you didn't ask what time is ending, and your mommy said you should be home by 6 o'clock. Then you now get there at 4 o'clock. They say the party is starting by 6. You now say, okay, Kuma stay there now. Shebi, the party has not started. When I get home, I gotta tell mommy that the party didn't start at 6. Because you didn't ask. You are not interested in the details. And you know that if you come home after 6, it's trouble. But your personality is not interested in those details. If you are also a P, you are spontaneous. You enjoy surprises and new situations. You like news. You are risky. You like new situations. You don't mind being thrown into where you don't know anybody. You don't feel, you love camp meeting. You love boot camp. You even like them to put you in a room full of strangers. You don't mind. You're happy. Anyhow, I'll meet new people. A lot of times, you're a perceiver. So let's go into, have them say, I'm a serious P. My dear, it is well. Ayomide says, I'm definitely a J. There's one person's analogy that I'm yet to see in this chat room, and I'm interested, but they have refused to answer me. So let's look at the fine details as we round up tonight. So you can now pick which of your personalities. So all the people in I, by now you have written some of the letters that I've said today. You have written it down beside your I. All those in I. Open, listen with open ears as you pick your letters together and find which group of personality type you are. So if you are ISTJ, you are responsible, you are sincere, you are analytical, you like to analyze stuff, you are reserved, you are realistic, you are systematic, you are hardworking, you are trustworthy, and you have practical sound judgment. I'm sure by now you have written your 4 letters down. You have picked one from each of the sides. You need to pick one from extroversion, introversion. You need to pick one from sensing, intuition. You need to pick one from thinking, feeling. You need to think one from judging, perceiving. So that's what will form the basis of these 4 letters that determine your personality type, either under introversion or extroversion. So if you are ISFJ, you are warm, considerate, you know, I think this sounds like Fortune, warm, considerate, gentle, responsible, pragmatic, thought through, devoted caregiver who enjoys being helpful to others. If you're INFJ, you are idealistic, you are organized, you are insightful, you are dependable, you are compassionate, you are gentle, you seek harmony, you like cooperation, you enjoy intellectual stimulation. Some of you might want to take a snapshot of or a screen grab of this slide so that much later you can still sit down and figure out, because what I have on this chart are your strengths. I don't want to focus on the weaknesses of that each personality. Tonight, I want you to help you build the strength that is available in your temperament. Because every single strength that is written here is important in helping you, preparing you for life as an adult. INJT, you are innovative, you are independent, you are strategic, you are logical, reserved, insightful, driven by your own ideas to achieve improvements. That means if you are INJT, you can make anything you dream come to pass. You have all the elements in your temperament to help you. If you are ISTP, you are action-oriented. You are logical. You are spontaneous. You are reserved. You are independent. You enjoy adventure. Now, this is an introvert, but with a tinge of something that looks like extroversion. Because an ISTP would want to think they're an extrovert. That's why I say you are most likely an introvert. Because of the adventure part. You are skilled at understanding how mechanical things work. You like to break things down. You need to open parts open. You need to, loosen it up and see how it was sewn so that you can sew it back. If you are ISFP, you are gentle, you are sensitive, you are helpful. You seek to create a personal environment that is both beautiful and practical. If you are INFP, you are sensitive. If you notice, a large part of the introversion scale has a lot of sensitivity. Everybody that has a P seems to have some form of sensitivity. They are sensitive to the ideals of others. You value inner harmony. You have personal growth and focus on dreams and possibility. Then the last one there is INTP. You are intellectual, logical, precise, reserved, flexible, original thinker who enjoys creative problem solving. Now, one of the huge strengths of the introvert is that they are problem solvers. So if you're an introvert, your introversion is not just to stay in your spot and do nothing about the problems that you see around you. You have the internal strength to solve problems as an introvert, because you have that inner calm that can think things through that an extrovert doesn't have. So on the extroversion scale, however, on the extroversion scale, so we have ESTP. I'm sure most of you, let me check the chat room. Let me see if some of you have started putting it together. Awesome. I can see people putting it together. ESFJ. Let me read that ESFJ. Caring, enthusiastic, organized, diplomatic, responsible, skilled communicator. This person says, Auntie Etima says ENFP, but I'm close to ESTP. Okay. Let's see ENFP. Let's see ENFP. ENFP. Enthusiastic, creative, spontaneous, optimistic, supportive, playful. I totally agree. Value inspiration, enjoy starting new projects. That one I'm not sure, Auntie Etima. That last one, I'm not sure it's your own. No? Let me see your second option there. ESTP. 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 I think I actually think the first one is yours more than ENPF. Outgoing, realistic, action-oriented. I agree. Curious, very curious. You can ask questions for Africa. Versatile, spontaneous, pragmatic problem solver. You actually do solve problems. Skillful negotiator. You know how to get yourself out of a problem. So I agree. So the last line there, I've said 4 of the ones above. The last line, ESTJ, efficient, outgoing, analytical, systematic, dependable, realistic, likes to run the show and get things done in an orderly fashion. So this is another extrovert with a different thing. This extrovert is actually very systematic. Extroverts are known to be very scattered, but this one is very systematic. ESFJ, friendly, outgoing, reliable, contentious, organized, practical, seeks to be helpful, pleases others, enjoy being active and proactive and productive. ENFJ, caring, enthusiastic, idealistic, organized, diplomatic, responsible, skilled communicator who values connections with people. Then systematic, outgoing, ambitious, ENTJ, independent, effective organizer of people, and long-range planner. So these are the 16 temperament types. It breaks it down into tiny bits so that the lines of confusion is almost non-existent. Auntie Etima, I'm actually an ENFP. So when you said you were an EFMP, that's why I said, no, I don't agree with the last one. Enjoy starting new projects. I think I enjoy, I'm like, there's nothing there. Let's go there, nothing there. Let's go there, let's break it down. Let's scatter it. Anyhow, we'll finish it. And it's really, really enlightening if you understand your temperament. Because sometimes when you're doing certain things, you begin to identify what the issues are. Now, a lot of times, our temperament, the last thing I'll be talking about tonight, our temperament also determines how we view ourselves, especially in the eyes of others. As a teenager, we go through a lot of judgment from our peers. And I don't think that only happens to teenagers. I think it happens to everyone. Even as an adult, people judge you. And because they judge you in a certain way, you find that an extrovert doesn't want to be an extrovert and wants to be an introvert. Then you find an introvert doesn't want to be an introvert, wants to be an extrovert. Why are you so slow? You now be praying, why can't I be loud? Why can't I like Kinekon? Please, don't let anybody give you inferiority complex. There is a strength you carry with each of those temperaments. When I was growing up, I'm an extrovert. I like to talk. I can talk. All the noisemakers list, I was there. A huge extrovert. And if only you will keep quiet, you will do better. But here I am today. I've been talking to you for almost 1 hour now, and my mouth is not paining me. All the money I make as an adult, I make it talking. So please embrace your personality. That's the last thing I'll be saying tonight. Each personality has its weakness, either as an introvert or an extrovert. Each personality has its weakness. Each personality has its strengths. There are things you can do as an introvert that I can't do. I hate to write. Hello? I hate to write, but introverts write so well. I'd rather talk than write. Extroverts struggle with writing because our brain works faster than we can write. You would have poured everything out. But an introvert internalizes things. That's why even in exams, you'll find out that people who do so well in academics, strangely, are more introverts than extroverts. But extroverts are more creatives. Extroverts are the ones that do music. Extroverts are the ones that do the arts. You know, they rap, they sing, they do spoken word. They're all over the place. Whereas introverts are, you know, they're analytical. They become good accountants. They become good bankers. They're good with numbers. They're careful. If I put up a post on Facebook, I have to read it 25 times to be sure there is no error. Because an extrovert's mind is all over the place. Whereas an introvert, before they even post it, they don't even need to read it too long, because as they are typing it, they are editing. Their brain is editing it. Whereas even after I've posted it, I will edit like 10 times after the post is up, because I will not see it. Not because I don't want to see it, but my brain has its own processing speed. But I also have my strengths. So don't be discouraged. Don't let anybody make you feel inferior. Don't let anybody make you feel bad. There is a king in you. There's something you carry that your world is waiting for. There's something you carry that makes you special. You're not weird in any way. There's nothing wrong with you. You are specially crafted for a time in this life that God has created you for. And you need to embrace it. You need to harness your strengths and work on your weaknesses. Thank you.
Wow, awesome. I'm still here trying to calculate whether I'm ENSP or whether I'm EFPN, because I guess that this is a journey. Okay, this is you just, you know, still trying to know who you truly are. I hope there's no one here thinking that oh, what is all this, what is all this, this is boring, or this is too much work, or why do I need this, or why do I need that, or why must I know this? The reason is simple. If you don't know who you truly are, people will come and tell you who you are not. And when you hear, you know, everything, a teenager does something wrong, it's peer pressure, it's peer pressure. Peer pressure will only succeed when you don't know what you can do and what you cannot do. I've met teenagers tell me that, Ma, I changed my personality because of my friends. It still in this academy. Yeah, I had a girl. She said it that because her friends told her that she was always talking. Why are you always talking? Why are you always everywhere? Da, 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 da. So she just started, and when I met her, you know, with a quiet demeanor, okay, but I noticed that she was a very, you know, playful person, but quiet, just having this quiet composure. Don't let anybody try to make you who you are not. I don't want anybody leaving this academy and, you know, still testifying. I don't know, like how evil testimony, that somebody is making you who you are not. Because even your purpose in life, what you're going to do in life, your career, your passion business, everything is going to be around your personality. God makes no mistakes. Do you know that as Folake, I realized that even my weakness is also part of my purpose, because the things I'm struggling, with, as I'm learning to come out of it, it's helping me bring out teenagers, okay, that are having those same struggles. So I want you to be safe and comfortable in yourself. If you're someone that is a people pleaser, don't try to change it because it's not a very good thing. Instead, as you develop yourself to become a better person and not be just a kiss ass, if I might use that word, sorry to use that word now. As you find yourself, you will find out that you can help those around you. Okay, so I need you to please leave this class very confident about everything you have just discovered about yourself. Some of them you knew, some of them, you know, you're just knowing. And it doesn't end here. It's going to continue. So the chat room is full of all the greetings for you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Then you know how you just discover yourself and you just go whoop 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 whoop. You know. So that's how we feel right here. And please, I want to say something else. I want every teenager here to know that because you're different, you are going to learn differently. You're going to relate to people differently. You're going to even attack life differently. So people are going to be more, you know, more voracious. What's that word now? Okay, more fierce towards life. And this personality knowledge you just gain should help you choose your friends. So I've always known that, you know, I'm an E, I'm an extrovert. My friends, as much as possible, I try to make sure that my friends are I, because I need some calmness around me. Yes. If all my friends are E like me, when we just appear, you'll be like, who are these people? Why are they so crazy? So even if they are an E, they are not my exact combination. Like my combination and Folake's combination, we are both E, but we don't have the same combination. Okay, so while I might be scared of going into a new project, she is happy about it. So we can blend. So this knowledge is not just for you, please, to just know I'm this, I'm that. No, it's for you to take certain decisions, certain life decisions. The kind of friends you keep, the kind of risk you would take. Don't go and start taking risk like somebody that has the ability to withstand anything that his or her parents will say to them. Also, there's going to be a party, and you know that your friend is the type that will question why he should not go. You will not take that that kind of character and go to your house and say, "Mommy, yes, why? This, that." That's not your personality. Your parents don't know you that way. It will not work. It can land you in trouble. So the reason for this is for you to take better decisions. There are certain courses that you should not read. Can you imagine me, this me now, as playful as I am, besides come and be a lawyer? I would just be mixing people's cases up and down the place. Or I should come and be a nurse. How am I going to cope? So you need to look at this. I hope I got a screen dump, so I'm going to put it on the group so that you look at it and check your career choice. So don't just go into some career choices because you just like it. You are an extrovert, you want to come and be a doctor. Oh, the Lord is with you. He can help, it's possible. But just be aware that you're going to have more work to do than someone who is more meticulous, someone who will be more careful. I forget things so easily that sometimes I just wonder that if I was going to be a doctor, there would have been a lot of problems, or a pharmacist. I'll just be mixing doses off. You know, this kind of, I'll just mix. You're supposed to take 3 times a day, I'll give you 5 times a day. Because I'm not, you need to understand, you need to understand what you are to do even in life. Yes. Sam is asking us, well, okay, please come back and take questions. Career choices have a lot to do with it. It has a lot. So you can go ahead and read some careers, but this career just suits your personality that you will fly. You will fly. So I read economics. Okay. Was it bad? No, it wasn't bad. Is economics helping me today? Yeah, kind of. But would psychology have helped me more? Far more. So yes, it's supposed to determine. Yeah. These days we have coaches and consultants that help children and teenagers match. Don't force you. Okay, they don't force you. They just advise. Somebody says, so your personality, yes, that's what I'm saying. It can. Like what I'm doing now, I'm doing this, you're doing that, and all that. It doesn't stress. Yeah, I'm not stressed. Okay, let me unmute everyone. Promise. Someone say mad, or like mad, or you know, this kind of seriously. let me unmute. Let me allow you guys should be able to unmute yourself. Okay, if you need to speak, I've put up that option. If you need to speak, please, if you're in a quiet place, you can. But please, it does. In the courses that you want to do, it's annoying. It's not annoying. Please leave us alone. You know,
Yes.
I'm careful. Yeah.
You wanted me to answer the question about your career and your temperament. Yes.
Yes.
Your career choices should be determined by your temperament. The reason why that happens is that there are certain temperaments that do well in some certain roles. I won't go into the tiny details, but if you're an introvert, like I said, you do well in careers like accounting, banking and finance, anything that has to do with numbers, engineering. Engineering, you do well in engineering, computer science, you do well because you need a lot of time to assimilate knowledge. There are voluminous knowledge. And your introversion will help you a lot to be able to carry the tenacity you need for those career choices. You do well in medicine, in pharmacy, because they are highly intensive courses that require quietness and stillness of the spirit. You can imagine an extroverted doctor. I didn't say there are no extroverted doctors.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that an extroverted doctor will need to do much more to be able to carry through the stress of the amount of knowledge that is needed to be a doctor. They will need to, switch personalities a lot. It won't be hard. You are extroverted. You do well in mass communication. You do well in journalism. You do well in theater arts. You can imagine an introvert in theater arts. You don't understand. You want to act Nollywood
Every time
music,
they'll be begging them, come and do now, come and dance now.
Even to get the right facial expression will be a problem because a lot of introverts have poker face. You can't tell whether they are happy. You can't tell whether they are sad. They are just there. What's wrong with you? Nothing. Whereas an extrovert, if an extrovert is crying with you, if they see you crying and they join, they will cry with you sincerely. And if they want to laugh with you, they will laugh with you sincerely. They can switch moods that quickly. So as an extrovert, you do well in careers like the arts. That's why I said extroverts are more creatives. They are the ones that push the boundaries. They are the rappers. They are the singers. They are the speakers. They are the life coaches. They are the ones that do motivational talks. So your career will be easier for you if you pick a career that is in line with your personality. You'll find out that you do it effortlessly. It's like being your natural self. You won't have to do so hard to get the results that you want. So yes, your personality goes into...
Okay, Auntie Folake, someone is asking that, please, I'm an extrovert, but does it mean I can't do my science because I love science and I want to do engineering?
You can. Don't get me wrong.
You can.
I just said you will need to exert yourself more. Because like an extrovert now, especially when you get to university, your friends will want to go out and go and party. Those of them in sociology, in psychology, where everything is read work. You just read it and you pass. It's precedence. You just read it and you pass. But you can't do that. You can't be partying when your friends are, when you should be reading. Because engineering is no joke. You will need to restrain yourself from doing, you would need to curb your natural tendencies for some certain things. That's all I meant. But as an extrovert, of course, like my son is an extrovert. He does well in science. My son is an extrovert. He does well in science. But when it comes to English language, he struggles. He does well with mathematics. He does well with calculations. But when it comes to English language, she struggles a bit because it requires you to be really calm. You need to put your thoughts to it. You need to center your mind. Your mind can't be wandering when you're trying to assimilate knowledge like that. So that's what it is.
Yeah, and I also want to add that if you looking like, for example, I'm an extrovert, but I by reason of what I do, I need to write. I now have to start deploying apps like Grammarly that will help me, because what you said about errors, oh my God, oh my goodness. Sometimes somebody will call me and say, you just made an error, go and correct it. So I have to use, apps, I have to get proofreaders. So we eventually, not now, eventually by the time you settle, you'll find out that you need to get other people in your team. For example, as a creative, an extroverted engineer, I'm sure that your work will be very creative and beautiful. You will not give us boring roads, you bring in your personality even into your career and your job. But you will need people. You will hire your weaknesses, like they say, wherever it is, that you start struggling. Now it might be okay for you, but the time will come when you grow older that you just don't want to be boxed into being somebody else. You just want to be yourself. At that time, you cannot change your career. You can't change your career. So you just simply hire somebody to do it while you now step in. That's why it looks like
I have proofreaders that read my material for me.
Do you get? So you would not hire that asset because you need to continue in it. You just get to that point and then things will balance up. But for now, this class has just been to show you that you need to be deliberate about certain things. Like I love the example that you gave. You cannot play like your friends that are introverts when you're doing a course like engineering or medicine. You can't now. You can't. Someone said, please, can you talk to our parents too? Yes, my darling. Yes, yes, yes. God will bless you. That is why I put them on a group. Every time after we have a session, I go back to them to give them a feedback. I'm doing so not because all of them will comply, but let God bear us witness that I told them. You also told them. If they didn't listen, it is their fault. And let me just say this, even if they don't listen, okay, Natasha or Nicole, even if they don't listen, don't worry. You'll be with them for just some time. They'll train you, you finish, just like me. My dad has trained me. I got married I came to my own home, and my life I'm just finding myself maybe at this age. I don't wish it for you, but even if it gets to that point, don't worry. Eventually, there's a book I was reading, Fish Climbing Trees. Can you imagine a fish climbing a tree? That fish was struggling because that is not his natural
out of water
habitat. Yes. So he was struggling, but eventually he will fall down from that tree and go back into the sea. So don't worry. We'll talk to your parents, and of course, these days the discussions are going on around things like these. That people are now allowing their children to become anything. Now my son now says he wants to be a footballer. Please, and for Lucky, I don't understand why my son says he wants to be a footballer. That one, I don't know how to agree. So you guys, please help us.
Not? You just go to a school that has a university abroad that has a football academy. Why not?
I beg. That's not his only gift and talent.
Who are you to decide, mommy?
Oh, please.
Do you know what?
You guys help us.
Do you know what if they buy your son in Chelsea or Liverpool or Arsenal, how much they will be paying him?
I beg you people should help us. Someone is already saying, please talk to my mom for me too. I want to be a footballer.
What to say is the fish a herbalist.
Okay, so by and by, we're going to just begin to get around with these things. It's not going to just start and just stop and just end well, but we're at least the discussions have begun, and somehow we'll find a middle ground. Some of the things, some of them I think the teenager will just outgrow it. Okay, that because my daughter once said, I want to be a wrestler. to be a this, I want to be, it wants to be so many
What if
things, you know, so it's just a
Lano
process.
is answering you in the comments chat? He said you don't know how much, as in you
Okay.
don't know how much that they will pay him if they buy him in Africa.
I know, but how many footballers are the star footballers that they pay that money?
Your son
And are
is
you going there because of
His case
money?
is different. His case is different. Leave him. It's a passion. It's a dream.
Okay.
So far as he
I've
reads,
heard you. I'm saying
so
I'm
far
talking
as
to
he gets an
parents. Now they're talking
education,
to me.
yes. So far as he gets an education,
Okay.
he's good to go.
Uh-huh.
Because he
Okay,
can change
so
his
we're
career
going to
at
give
any
this.
point.
Yes, that's it. So that's why I'm saying that we need to also calm down. Eventually, you can change. Okay,
Of course.
eventually you find yourself. Remember that nobody here has just one talent. Everybody has several talents, and then you want to just express it at different times of your life. So just take it easy, no fights, no quarrels, and please talk to God about it. If it is truly what God wants it to be, your parents will eventually agree. That is the truth. There are some things that will not need to fight, but there are some things that at a point they'll just be like, this thing this boy is saying. It happened to my pastor. So her daughter had been, you know, they were trying to get admission for this girl to do, you know, one creative, powerful course in a big university in the US or in the UK. And then one day the mother was praying, okay? And then the Holy Spirit told her that this girl does not want to do what people want her to do. She can't tell you. So she said she woke the girl up around 12 minutes and said, tell me the truth. What do you really want to study? This girl started crying. She started crying. The mother said, what is going on? She said, Mommy, I just love to cook. I just love to bake. That's all I want to do. The mother was like, Jesus. And we're about to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for you to go and do what you don't love, for you to go and climb a tree as a fish. That was when they, you know, they they took a U-turn and they got her a school in Paris. Of course, you know that Paris has the best culinary schools. Right now, she's in Paris, and her school even has, you know, the business aspect of it. So she's coming back a powerful chef. Of course, it was not easy. Her father, my pastor said, what is the meaning of that? How am I going to get paid for my daughter to come and be a chef? Eventually, he agreed. And she's so happy. You see all these cake boss, all these food network people, she knows all of them. Most of them are her lecturers, most of them are her teachers. They come to her school to do stuff. But it all started because they spoke to God about it. So that is where God comes in. It's not just by fight, by quarrel. You know, now some of you go and start quoting for Mommy, please, I don't want to climb tree as a fish. Please, please, please put me inside water. Talk to God. Talk to God about it. And somehow, God is going to make everything just balance up. So we need to go. Thank you, everyone. The discussions will continue on the group if need be. And we appreciate Auntie Folake. Thank you so much, ma'am, for spending your evening with us. We are grateful. Thank you, everyone that made this class interesting. Sammy, let me go through everyone that typed something. Lano, Fortune, and Nicola, Natasha. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Blossom. Thank you, Ayomi Paul. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Bankie. Thank you, Tisan. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Blossom. I appreciate you so much. It's time for us to say our goodbyes. Please switch on your mic and say your byes. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Some people's bye are so dry. Tehila, bye. Tehila. And some people go like, bye. Whatever. Maybe it's your personality. maybe it's your personality. Maybe you're the introvert.
She need to put on her camera. I just saw Banks. Banke.
Oh, okay. Yeah. David tone is on now. Victory. Bye, Victory. Thank you. Elan, bye. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Signing out now. Bye.